Man, it's been so long since I've been on here, guys, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm so glad to be back. I've been wanting to come back to YouTube, but it's just a lot of stuff that I've been trying to deal with and issues trying to work out business-wise to where it's kind of preventing me from doing so. And I'm not gonna be holding anything back in this video, guys. I'm gonna be covering it all. I know you got a lot of questions related to my agency, such as like, how is the agency doing? Am I still even working on it? And if not, then where have I been? What am I doing this whole time? And so I'm be covering a lot of that today. So first things first, to go ahead and get this out the way, guys, I did go ahead and throw in the towel, man. I waved the white flag. I'm no longer doing SMMA. And I know that might be a shock to a lot of you guys because it seemed like I was getting really good traction. And I'm gonna tell you, it's not, the reason that I'm stopping is not because of any lame excuses like I didn't have the discipline or I couldn't sign any clients, because that's clearly not true. Like, I've signed clients and I had all the softwares, I had everything lined out for me where I just had to put in the work and it was gonna like come into fruition. The business was gonna get up and running. So why would I throw away a perfectly good opportunity? Well, it's more so big picture, like fundamental wise issues, such as like coming into the business, only looking at the money aspect of it and not being genuinely interested in the business outside of anything like that. And I know a lot of y'all can relate, because the same way that I discovered these online businesses, drop shipping, SMMA, affiliate marketing, is the same way that we all tend to get enticed into it with these gurus putting up these big numbers of 10K a month and financial freedom in 6 months and all. And that approach and looking at it from that perspective is the very same reason that a lot of us are gonna fail. So let's go back to the very beginning of my SMMA journey. I'm gonna tell y'all what I did right along the journey and what I did wrong. So please copy my wins, but don't take my losses. Disregard so you don't make the same mistake that I did. Now, if you're anything like me, when I first started SMMA, I was looking for a business model to where I could make a good amount of money relatively fast through a decent business model that I didn't necessarily love, but I could tolerate. And if you landed on SMMA, then you might have came from drop shipping. I know a lot of people tend to do that. But you'll realize quickly that unless you got a lot of capital, a lot of money to burn through fast, then you're better off starting a service-based business or something that has low upfront cost with high profit potential on the back end. So back in August 2022, this is when I first discovered, well, a little bit before that, but this is around the time when I started taking it serious, discovering Iman Ghazi and being put on to the whole SMMA space, to where a lot of these gurus, they sell you this dream of this lavish lifestyle, and you just sign a few high ticket clients and you get the 10K a month, and then you don't have to do any work. You outsource it to some random media buyer with a small currency rate conversion, to where $100 to you is $1,000 to them. And then you just barely do any work, let them handle everything, call a few clients, close sales deals and all, and just live the life of your dreams. And it's just this fairy tale business idea that's just painted as so easy, right? And like a lot of you guys, I bought into this. Me having no business experience prior to this, no sales skills. I had done no online marketing besides a little TikTok paid ads that I did for drop shipping. No sales calls, nothing. I was just a young, ambitious dude that's confident that I could succeed at whatever I want if I put my all into it. And I wasn't wrong, because I did make the money. I made more than most people ever do. I signed a client for $2,000 a month within like less than 2 weeks of me, starting my outreach on SMMA. It's nothing to brag about, but like, it's a lot more progress than most people ever even make. Most people don't even start outreach. And like I documented all of this around that time. So if y'all really want to kind of get a little more in depth of the story, if you're watching this video as one of my first videos, or you haven't really gone back, I do suggest that you see the journey and what my mind frame was, what I was going through, the issues that I was facing around that time of starting with no previous experience. I realized that once I signed this client, that I had no way to actually guarantee the results because I had no previous marketing experience myself. And so this is where a whole bunch of other issues came up, right? Where I had to start figuring out what I'm gonna do to, kind of come through for this client. And this is where I stopped making these videos and I stopped outreach, and then I just sat down to plot on how I could revamp my whole agency. I had a whole process that I was gonna do. Like, I was planning on using ClickUp for the project management software. I was gonna use Go High Level software to add so much more value to the offer for my clients so they could see that. But then I realized I had to actually learn how to use the Go High Level software. I had to learn how to run Google Ads myself because otherwise I didn't really know how to actually get results. I had to learn sales in order to be able to get more clients. I had to craft a way better offer so, people could see and, get results such like testimonials. I had to go through and grind to get that. I needed systems and processes to automate the agency, project management, onboarding clients so I could keep things moving. And y'all could see how a lot of these things that you never really thought about before starts to add up. And it's like, dang, I got all of these goals I gotta tackle. And for someone that's not really genuinely interested into the business and only about the money that you can make from it, it becomes too much to even really be willing to deal with because, you could easily fall off. And this is what started to happen to me, right? And this is what started to happen to many others that I see. You get overwhelmed with everything that comes with it. And then you kind of wonder, why was I so fired up about this before? And now I'm kind of losing this fire behind me that I had to start this business. When in reality, it might not even be, you might still genuinely want to do the business and want to be self-employed, want to be an entrepreneur, but this not the path. And for one, you're looking at it from the wrong perspective of just coming in and doing a little bit of work and getting paid for it. And this is the reality of business that a lot of these gurus rarely ever mention. Some of them they do, they fit it in there to cover themselves, but when they're pitching you to get you to come into their funnel so they can sell you their $1,000 course to teach you how to get to 10K a month in 6 months so they can slowly exit out of their agency themselves and go into consulting and coaching. They're not going to tell you all of these things that come with it. They're just going to paint you, this rainbow fairy tale of how easy it is. And so this is when I disappeared in October. And as I was trying to figure out all of these things going through, I'm like, bruh, what am I even doing right now? Like, I don't genuinely want to do this SMMA business. I was only doing this to, try to make some money fast through a decent vehicle. And that's not enough to keep me encouraged because there was so many so many obstacles that I had to face and so many hills that I had to climb over. Because once you start, you start to get into productive procrastination, setting up your email, setting up your Calendly, your Zoom, you're outlining your routine, you're creating your offer, all of this except for outreach and actually building more systems and stuff. Once you get to that actual phase, then you realize like the work starts to kick in for real. And then you really see if you really built for this business, really can go through with it. And that's just kind of the point where I was. And I'm like, bro, luckily I got into a point where I've been documenting this the whole time on YouTube. And this is why YouTube is so powerful, right? Even if you're not experienced at all, even if you're just a beginner. And you guys, bro, it was a lot of people trying to, criticize me and clown me in the comments of, how bad my sales skills was, how bad my cold calls was, how I don't have an agency, no clients, no validity, no credibility, this and that. But, there was some good in that. Like, there was a lot of authenticity in just documenting it from not knowing what to do, because I know a lot of people hit me up all the time and tell me how valuable it is just to see from a beginner's perspective. And so I'm like, dude, I got this audience on YouTube. Why don't I just go the YouTube route? Because I've always wanted to do YouTube and go all in on content creation. I mean, I'll be honest with y'all, it's even days where when I was building my SMMA, like I would be more focused on making YouTube videos and dang, how could I formulate this to be another video more so than I'd rather work on my SMMA. And that's how I know, like deep down in the back of my head, like I want to do YouTube. But I think it was just a sense where I didn't really know what to make content on otherwise. And I didn't really want to be one of those people that just did pranks or just did like reaction videos or something that really didn't allow me to use that creative element or, you know, provide actual value to people, which that is value, that's like entertainment, and there's nothing wrong with those videos, but that's just not the route that I wanted to take with my content. And so in a sense, I thought that if you wanted to do YouTube, you had to have something, a business that you were already doing, which is not really the case, because if you look at what Hamza's doing, I mean, he started it kind of from the fitness niche and whatnot, but now he's just on a self-improvement, self-development perspective. And it's not really a business outside of that, but he's killing it right now on YouTube. And there's a lot of many other content creators that's doing that same thing. And I'm so thankful that I feel like this is where my skills are really at in just creation. And luckily, I mean, I stopped uploading at around 5,000 subscribers. And still, y'all like my content so much to where I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers now. And that's a whole, like I completely stopped. I didn't even post on a community post. I didn't answer no comments. I didn't do anything. I just stopped. And so, you know, I've been just kind of looking out for signs, looking out for a vision, just been reading, just been going through my days and trying to figure out where I want to go. And I just keep seeing these signs of, you know, the path that's actually for me, my actual purpose. And so with this, I want to just encourage you guys, if you got something that you feel like is calling you more so than whatever business you're already in or you're already trying to do because it promises a lot of money, it doesn't matter. If you actually go all in on the thing that you feel is calling you, that you're meant to do, you're gonna make a lot of money regardless. Going at it from that money perspective is the wrong perspective. And that's why a lot of us start to fail SMMA, because when it really gets into that grunt and that dirt work where you gotta really grind through it, you don't want to, you're not willing to. But that's a whole nother thing for another video I got coming up from the lessons I've learned, which I want y'all to stay tuned for that. But I really know that I'm not the only one that feels like this. I know a lot of y'all are so ambitious to do this SMA stuff, and a lot of y'all genuinely are interested in it. Y'all like marketing, y'all come from a marketing background, and you're always gonna need marketing. Like even my YouTube channel, when I start growing it and release products and things around that, I'm gonna still need marketing. But from an analytics and Google ads and this and that perspective, that's not really where, that's not what I wanna be doing. Especially when the YouTube channel is growing, you know, I feel like you should pick the path to least resistance that's actually for your purpose. And so that's why, you know, I'm gonna be pivoting my content from YouTube to not being SMA, but more so self-development. Just me as the niche, you know, different things that I'm doing and ways that I'm growing to improve and help other people out and give value and to help you guys find your purpose out. If this business or that business isn't exactly what you should be doing, how to figure out what you should be doing and what's best for you and how you can still make a lot of money doing what you want to do, like what you're genuinely interested in. And this is what I see a lot of people, like recently Dan Cole has been coming out. I know a lot of you guys might see him and he's talking about the one person creator, the one person business, to where you just research a lot of your interest and what you're genuinely like actually interested in outside of even if you didn't have to make videos about it. And then that way you can come from a perspective of giving and curiosity, and you find a way to make your interest interested to somebody else. This is the same thing that I seen Joe Rogan talk about on his podcast, was he only interviews people that he really cares about hearing what they got to say. Or, you know, he might not even care about woodworks or furniture or something, but he's just interested in that carpenter or, I don't know, woodworks guy, whatever they do to build wood, whatever the name is for that, and his passion behind building that wooden table or that wooden chair or whatever. So finding a way to come at it from that, because the internet, it enables us to do anything that we want to do at this day and age. It's people literally making a living doing what they're genuinely interested in. So I don't want to just keep going in circles and saying all of that same thing over and over. But, you know, this is the plans that I got that I'm working towards to go for the YouTube channel in the future. And I'm planning on building a real solid community around this, like making the Discord that you guys have been asking for, building that cult following, to be honest, loyal audience, and just documenting my whole self-improvement journey as we go through this next chapter to figure out what to do and how I can help you guys figure out what you want to do as well. And if you're genuinely interested, it sounds like something you want to, like, I really would love for a lot of you guys that's been my audience from SMMA to just come and join me along this journey of, you know, the new path, because the only thing that's guaranteed is change, right? And so I kind of, you know, am uncertain and been wanting to make this jump, but I just didn't know how to. Like, I didn't know what content I'm gonna make, this and that, but on my Ready, Shoot, or what is it, Ready, Fire, Aim, I haven't even read that book, which I gotta read. But on my stuff like that, like, I'm gonna just go in the path that I wanna go to, and I'm gonna just kind of figure it out along the way. And which is the core being of an entrepreneur, bro. You make something, you find a problem, and you figure out a solution along the way. It's like what I seen somebody else quote, I don't remember exactly where I saw this quote. I think it was even on a Dan Cole video, where he was like, this dude that had this quote where it was like, entrepreneurship is like jumping off a cliff and building a plane before you hit the ground. It's like that. You just got to figure it out along the way and throw yourself over the edge. And I think a lot more people need to be willing to be more creative than we actually are, and just taking what we've been given, this business model. It's kind of like the same thing in school, right? When you have these select few career paths and you just choose one. Why don't we be more creative than that? Why can't we use the internet, which has enabled us to make our own creative path, our own jobs, to where we can literally just follow our own things? And so this is something that I want to be a trailblazer for and a leader for, right? And so in my next video, though, I'm gonna be showing y'all, well, I'm gonna be giving y'all the most valuable lessons and experience that I've learned from running my SMMA in this short period of time, and just business in general. My short, let's say year and a half that I've been in this online business space. And I think that'd be a very valuable video to share with you guys. So with that being said, man, thank y'all for all y'all support. Thank y'all for y'all love. Happy New Year. And y'all buckle up, because 2023 is about to be a crazy year. Let's get it, man. Peace.